Hello and welcome to the dev stream. Back, hello again, Koratora. Glad to have you lurking. And hello, Saravati. Interesting. Okay, that was that was recently. That's interesting. My chat does not have that. Hopefully, chat is working correctly. Let's test. Only seeing Saravati in the Twitch, not on free stream. I bet it's just because I didn't have it. I'm gonna go with that. Like, chat. Good stuff, Koratora. Sarvati, welcome back. And thank you for the congrats. Appreciate that. The demo launch is going really quite well. Quite well. Not beyond our wildest dreams, but on the high end of our expectations. And our expectations were not low. So here I can show this, right? I can show, yes, I can show this. Valve lets you show this now. This is good. This is our wish lists. Here, I'll do. You can see. Oh God, is it really been that long? I can even do a month. Yeah, so you can see the baseline of wish lists here. We don't usually kind of really. It had been so long since we'd done any hoopla. Our baseline wish list was really low. Like I'd say on average 50 ads a day, which for us was pretty low. But then we did our big announcements, got almost a day, and we just haven't had a single day less than 1,000. And now the demo went live on this day right here. I think 1,800. And this is Tuesday. Oh wait, no, it went live on the 7th. Okay, so it went live on this day. Only got 1,600 wish list, and that seemed pretty good to us at the time. We'd already had that spike, and then it just kept going up, and then the weekend came, and look at that, 3,000. I think we can probably get one more day out of this thing. And look at that, it just keeps coming. Today we have already 1,600 on the day, and the day's not over. Although usually the wish lists, for whatever reason, do seem to stop at about 6 p.m. and then whatever wish lists come in now seem to end up tomorrow. I think it's maybe Valve's servers are maybe not on a PST, not my time zone or something. Not really sure, but yeah, it's very good for us. I mean, we've had over 20,000 wish lists, and 20,000 people have downloaded the demo, and about 10,000 people have played it. We have a median play time of 46 minutes right now, which is very strong. The demo here. Oops, I just exited out. Oh, that was silly. Very stupid. The demo stats. We have 46-minute median play time, which is quite good. Especially I think for the kind of game that we have. It's about a 2-hour demo. I think sometimes you see these really long median playtimes for demos, like an hour or more. And I think that those are mostly for demos. But 46 minutes is pretty strong. I think that's going to be like 95th percentile or something. 1,300 users, which is nuts, man. People are playing the demo, and I don't even know where they're coming from. So there's so much traffic going to the demo. There's so many people downloading the demo, and most of it is not being referred from anywhere. It's not really being driven by the Steam widgets themselves. Like, we're not getting a ton of traffic from like the new demos list, or the Steam homepage, or the discovery queue, or anything like that. I suspect it's word of mouth. I mean, I can't imagine why, days after all of our press hoopla, we would be having thousands and thousands of people directly search Songs of Glimmerwick, find it on Steam, like click on it directly. I think people are hearing about it and they're just searching it. That would be my guess, but I really have no metrics on it. But it seems to be Chat is working now. All the messages. Wallhammer, hello, and go to bed. Maybe, if you have a normal schedule. Sometimes I have a really weird schedule, and 4 a.m. is not that late for me lately. Current time of life. Corator says demo ends at a nice spot. I'm happy to hear you say that because a lot of people are very mad at us for where it ends. In fact, a lot of feedback forums say the demo should have been longer, which is so bizarre. And they'll say stuff like, I was surprised at how short the demo was. It's 99th percentile for length on demos, on Steam demos. 2.5 hours is a very long demo. I think that they maybe think the demo is something that should leave you satisfied, but of course that is not what we're trying to do with the demo. We're trying to give people a taste of what the game is and hopefully show people our quality bar so that they can be really jazzed about it. Happy to hear you say that it ended at a good place. I do think it did end at a good place because of how annoyed people are at where it ends. It's kind of what you want for a demo. It's an Academy game, but check it out. You have to qualify it. Audio is kind of low. Okay, yeah, it's like negative 15 decibels. I guess it could be a little louder. Let me add decibels there. I've been sort of having trouble with my audio lately. So I've got some gain add. Then I just want to make sure that my gate is still working. That looks like it's still gating. Okay. Oh, it seems like I could maybe add even more. Still gating. Okay, testing. Seems all right. -5. Okay, cool. Usually stream to Discord friends. Nice. Yeah, I guess it's a good thing when people are saying that your demo is too short. Better than your demo is too long, and I exited out in the Rahara, hello, welcome, says, I got to see the demo for a few days ago. I felt that the demo was amazing in length. All right, good to hear it. Okay, glad to hear it about the stopping points. Okay, thanks, Corator, appreciate that. Hopefully the audio is sounding good today. All right, thank you, Strawberry, for downloading the demo. Appreciate that. You joined the ranks of about half of people have downloaded the demo. Half the people who have downloaded the demo have not opened it yet, which I think is actually good. I think usually people download a demo, more than half of have opened. Thank you for downloading it. Appreciate it. Okay, cool. All right, everything is good. I want to continue working on the Broom today. Have our Broom and yeah, Jacqueline had a concept for a side saddle, but I really wanted her to be able to ride it like a normal, and I don't know. I think I'm just gonna make all the animations with her seated normally on the Broom. I think maybe this tape in the back will have that. Yeah, I think we've got to null that out, make that invisible. So I think that was where we left off what I wanted to do. So trying to get this cloak coverage to become invisible. Here's what we have. Covering. Pretty bad animation, but there's going to be time to polish it up. Also, I don't know why her hand is drawing behind this. Let's fix that right now in the animation. Let's get that hand drawing in front. So the hand back, I guess, needs to go even higher in the draw order. That's actually where I want it. Even though her arm is going back, looks a little janky when you go up close. The read for the player is going to be like, the avatar is so small on screen. So really, I'm just concerned about the big here, and I know it's going to look a little janky. The rig is not good. Thing. Her leg should probably be dangling a little bit, but I think the more important thing is to figure out how to hide this. Back. That hit it. Don't know if that's actually working. Does it look a little weird? I don't know, I guess it does. Try her with a different dress. So that one looks really strange. And these ones are definitely going to look really weird. I don't know what's acceptable. Find out. Guess we'll find out if people are willing to accept that. Of course, it is going to be really small on screen. It looks like in order to get it this disappearing behind the leg, we should have a little bit less going. Oh, anyhow, let's make another animation now of her. Well, actually, the most important one is the uni outfits. Let's go uni. So her leg is maybe dangling a lot. See if we can get her leg bones. Maybe that's a little bit. And I'll just copy that key and I will maybe put a little bit of animation on her feet. Sort of as she floats up, the feet have a little bit of drag or something. And then here we have a little follow through. You're an animator and you're disgusted by how I'm getting the terminology wrong. I apologize. A little exaggerated. Not too. Just reinforces the fact that her feet are. So now let me just change the curve. Oh, and I noticed that her cloak is going actually behind her legs, so we don't really. Oh. Maybe we'll do a little bit here as well, with the leg going down a little. Oh, that follows. Wow. We'll go the legs a little bit down. Here we'll go both of these up a tiny bit. I will set that out. Okay, how does that look? Yeah, she really looks a lot more like she's. Oh, this is not good though. I don't want her cloak to be going by, allowing her leg to show through that in the butt. So let me just unrotate a little bit. Not actually. Oh, there we have a little bug here. I saw the draw order was flickering for a second. It seems like when we play the animation, it's okay. So that. Navasha says, I played 16 hours of the demo. Whoa, no way. It's amazing. Oh, Navasha is your Clover, I think. Is that right? That's awesome. Thank you for, yeah. Oh, if that's okay, if it's okay to disclose, I won't say anymore. Strawberry says, I want to play it ASAP. Life has been lifing a little too hard. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. It was. Oh, you move up the. Gotcha. In the animation. Nexai says, hope it's cool that I'm working on building my DJ mix app while I listen. Watch you build Glimmerwick. Been following the devlogs for what seems like years at this. No, if you're in this stream, you must not be doing anything else. Cannot be working on anything or doing anything else. That's my rule. Just 100%. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, that's good. That's a good thing. Happy to be your office coworker. If you can get it to not be coming out of the right leg. Oh, right, the broom. Fortunately, all the legs have slightly different thicknesses. All the outfits have slightly different. Okay, yeah. So Navasha actually voices Clover in the game, and around here in the chat, Clover is definitely a fan favorite. I think that has to have been mentioned more times than anybody else. People are absolutely losing their mind over Clover. Happier with that. Navasha knocked it out of the park. Okay, so let's move on to the next animation of her actually riding the broom forward. Let's see, that's a sound I don't hear too often. It's a sub sound. Koratora, thank you very much for gifting. Oh, rock on. Gifting Navasha a sub. Okay. Well, thank you for that. If this was a pub, then everyone would be buying Navasha food and beverage right now. Okay, so let me duplicate this animation and do broom riding, I guess. Whoa, not in all caps. And we just want to lean her forward and make her look like she's going. So I did have Kiki's delivery service up the other day. I'm going to get that up. Kiki's delivery service. Kind of cheating. This is... I mean, it's not cheating. There's no cheating in art. But this is a step beyond reference because it's already been interpreted. But the thing is, you know, when it's Studio Ghibli, you can really trust their their animation chops. I'm also not an animator. So when she rides, she really tucks her feet under there. I don't know if we could get away with that because I don't know if our broom riding is going to be going quite fast enough. She's also sitting so far back on the broom, much further back than I would expect like a stereotypical witch to be. We might experiment with a but for now, let's go with this. Just have her lean forward, hopefully. So, okay, broom riding, we've got the correct animation here. And here she leans forward. And if she is going to lean forward, I think that we want her feet to be kind of flying backward a little bit. That kind of changes where the broom goes away. But I don't know if we should be balancing it for this outfit that much. There are so many outfits. Like, what if she's wearing uni skirt? So we'll pin that one. And that's what it's going to look like, which is obviously bunk. Right? It's just intersecting through her skirt. It sucks. Skirts are hard. Skirts and dresses and really anything, kilts or just anything that hangs is extremely difficult in a video game, whether it's 3D or 2D. creates so many problems. In Eastshade, we had basically every single character had so many dangling clothes. We had like saris, hijabs, and tunics, and all kinds of things. And there's a lot of jank in the animations. But you know what's funny is that nobody ever complained about. Okay, that's actually not. We had a relatively small amount of complaints about the jank of the animation. So people really will forgive a lot. Ink department. So we try not to let the difficulty of animating everything and rigging everything get in the way of content we can. If we had to make everything look perfect, then we would have such incredibly games. I mean, we'd be forced to make such small. I'm gonna try to move her feet back here. It looks like that change I made before did not take. We're gonna move her feet back. We kind of take like an Elder Scrolls approach. You can tell that Bethesda does not spend as much on certain aspects of their games as others do. And I know someone's going to make a joke about bugs, QA, but let me tell you, they almost certainly spend more on QA than most other studios. But the bottleneck for how polished your game is, it turns out, is not usually QA. It's usually your programmers. Programmers are the ones that fix bugs. And if your game is sufficiently big and has a sufficiently massive amount of systems, then it becomes extraordinarily difficult to fix all your bugs. And everyone has a different benchmark or standard, I guess I could say, for how many bugs are acceptable. And Bethesda's is their standards are too low for some players, but not for me, I say. Because I know what it's like to be making a game that is well above your weight class, so to speak. And you could either make it super polished and no bugs and have it be like 5 hours long, or you can make a giant behemoth and just have a few more bugs than you'd probably want and make the best of it. One day, though, maybe we'll have enough money to have our cake and eat it too. Okay, shut up. Get to work. Be quiet. Enough out of you. Amuna, hello. Welcome. Thank you for the kind words. Doing so well on Steam. Wishlisting. It's doing pretty well. It's doing pretty well. 23,000 since our demo announcement. Ain't bad. Ain't bad at all. I think we're going to crack 200,000 by the time we launch, which is bananas. Bananas. We should be good to go. Move the hands back. I worry about moving her hands when she transitions. It'll look like it's kind of like sliding along the broom. Side saddle. That's what Jacqueline suggested as well. I just don't know if it's going to have the same effect. But if the skirt issues are ugly enough and people complain about them, we might have to make a side saddle. I feel like the design there is in service of animation in a way that doesn't really make sense. Oh yeah, I feel you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we got to be careful about that. The application on the screen is called Spine. It is a skeletal 2D animation middleware. Luxuritas, hello. Hello. Luxuritas helped me fix an extremely important Perforce server bug once that kind of saved my studio. He just did that out of the goodness of his heart. I will never be able to repay him. Thank you to Luxury. Does this glitch bug ratio is such that I permanently put their games down 14 years ago. Gotcha. I've hit like 3 bugs in my like 1,000 hours playing Elder Scrolls games. So I'm just not someone who runs into a lot of bugs. I'm very gentle with games. I'm someone who, if I walk through a wall, I'm usually like, oh, well, I wasn't supposed to go that way. And then I'll turn around and walk right back. Just like, nope, I'm not supposed to do that. And I don't want to break the game. I don't know what it is. Genevo David said, hello, welcome. Started playing the demo last night, got soft log in a dialogue. That's not good. A few times. That's not good at all. Had to force close the game. Not quite sure how I did it. Just click too fast. I think it would be clicking too fast, but we definitely would be interested in how you did it. If you sent in a bug report after it happened, that would be fantastic. But yeah, don't like to hear about soft locks. We have a few known soft locks in the game. Like one is leaving the music practice room after your first music lesson. You can get stuck there. One that we know of. Maybe 1 or 2 other ones that we know of. But if it was happening to you multiple times during conversations, different conversations, it's definitely really bad. We want to be able to fix all the soft locks in. Rahar says, I got hit with the same game-breaking Dawn Guard glitch right at the last 5%. Oh, that's a bummer. Good. Yeah, that's always a real bummer. When you actually get your progress impeded in a way that you can't get around, that's... We're looking for the root. Let's delete. So we don't want to be bobbing up and down anymore. We're just zooming forward. Okay, cool. And her coat is kind of flapping, which is good. I want it to be flapping a little bit more. So that's pretty good. We're going to take out the keyframes on her feet now because they don't need to be. We're not really just bobbing up and down anymore. And I just wonder if we take the entire animation and speed it up a ton, if it'll just look like she's going faster. Okay, so that looks a little bit weird. We definitely want the broom back here to just kind of be like, if that makes any sense to anyone. Feel me? Just that should be the frequency of its flapping. Let's try to get that done. I'll do a couple keyframes like this. Oops, I don't know what's going on here, but we want those. Go. This. And we'll take these. We'll delete whatever that is. And I'll just put a couple of them. And then in between all those, we're going to go the other way. So I'm going to bend it the other way. So much work. There's so many little things that will make this look right. I'm not an animator, guys. I fortunately sort of spearheaded all the animation on our main rig. Never again. There we go. This is going to be flapping. Okay, but it's not flapping fast enough. So I think we just want to take, actually, we do want to speed up that animation. Most of the animations in the game are not, they're made by Misaki, our animator, but unfortunately a lot of the main rig animations, so we started development, and Jacqueline actually made the main rig, and now since then I've been doing all the animation on it. So that's okay. What's happening with our cloak is okay, but now I think we want the high frequency flapping. I don't want it to go too crazy, but we'll just grab those and we'll just add a couple more keyframes here. And then in between all those, same sort of deal, then we're going to bend them back. grab all these bones, and then I'll grab all those keyframes and paste in between all of the other keyframes. How that looks. Okay, there. She does look like she's going a little bit faster now. I wonder if her cloak should be even further back, which should be... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it because look at how bad her skirt is already stretching right there. So I don't want to do that. Let's make the front one flap though. So I'm just going to rotate this one up, rotate this one up, rotate this one up. Oh yeah, we'll rotate it up quite a lot. Like we'll grab these 3 bones and we'll grab that keyframe we just made, and I just want to, paste it a few times. Maybe that will be enough. And then in between each one, we're gonna bend it back. Bend it back kind of to how it was. Grab all those bones. And then that back a few times between each of those other ones. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's kind of weird how it has that little lag for a second, but I don't know, maybe it adds some variety. It does look like she's going kind of fast. I feel like her feet do need to be further back still. So let's see, experiment with that. Look at how far back her skirt can go. This is really, I wonder if that's leaned too forward. Let's go crazy with this. What does it look like when we really lean this back? It kind of looks like she's going fast. Oops, I forgot the keyframes don't stick around on IK for, I don't know why they don't. Like you have to move it and then you have to actually like click the key button. I don't know why that's just the case for IK. So now it really looks like she's leaning. I suspect she could lean even more. Let's grab her chest bone. And okay, this one is maybe attached to the broom, so maybe we don't want to do that one. Although we could push it forward so that the broom is completely flat. Let's try that. And let's grab that keyframe, go to the end. Okay, I don't really think we want her chest to be changing level like that. So I'll just delete that middle keyframe. She's leaning forward the whole time. And I wonder if there's any other flourishes we can make here. Definitely the hair. We do have a couple keys or a couple bones, I think, in some of the hairs that we can like flap. Maybe we want her head to be down. Now she looks like she's decapitated. Really don't have a lot of leeway on the head. We don't have hardly any like ability to mess with the neck. Like there's no rigging in the neck. It's a very primitive rig. It's actually remarkable how well done for us, given how few controls we actually have. Let me catch up with chat. Ryan JQ, hello and welcome back. All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Altalina, hello. I finished your demo a few days ago and it was awesome. Okay, let's go. Thank you. Appreciate you coming in to tell me that. Okay, cool. People are saying it doesn't look awful, which is good. Let's maybe get her leg flapping a little in the, let's see if we can make that happen. So I definitely don't want her legs to be going that, but maybe kind of like this. Maybe that level of flappage. Try that. Let's pull this leg up a little bit and key that. And we'll do one other key of that level. And then right in the middle, it'll fall back down and then that. And we'll grab that key again. Okay. I'll grab all of those keyframes and just make sure to do the Hermite smoothing. Okay, yeah, so now her leg looks, I don't know, her leg might look too floppy. Her leg looks a little bit floppy, like it's made out of cloth or something. But I don't know. Maybe it would flop a bit. We'll see. We'll see. Let's leave the flopping for now. Plus, the player's so zoomed out most of the time. I'd rather maybe have too much movement and dynamism than not enough. Make her. Yeah, it looks like she's got some weird twitch or something, and it might just be because only one leg is doing it. So let's make sure we get the other leg. And we could just delete. Oops, I keyed something. Okay. Luxrita says, I wish I have more excuses to animate. There are so many things that I wish I had time to do. It's crazy. Like, some people say that they're glad that we don't live forever. I'm not one of those people. I definitely think I would not get bored living forever. I could dive so deep into. I had to do a couple glyphs in our font on Glimmerwick because it didn't support some of the Latin characters in some of the other Romance languages like French and stuff. So it wasn't like font work because I was just kind of copying other glyphs. Like the E needs like 5 different kinds of little accents on the top. So I'd like copy the E and then go find the accent I need from some other font and combine it together in the glyph. But I had never done that kind of work before, and I was just kind of learning how to insert glyphs into the font file, and I was having a blast. I was learning, and I could totally see myself just going neck deep into fonts and just like drawing cool new characters and learning the subtleties of like how big does the serif need to be to feel serify, and like what kinds of stylizations can you do on the serif to give it a different look? Like, oh, if you do this to it, it looks like, Middle Eastern, or if you do this to it, then it gives it like a more sort of, I don't know, typewritery flavor to it. And I could just picture getting so into that. It would take forever and years on it. I dream of making even like our own font for our games. Sounds so fun to me, but making our own engine sounds really fun to me too. Definitely will never do it, but sounds fun. And I know making an engine is really good practice for if you want to be a game programmer, but I am not looking to hone my game programming skills at this point in my career. I'm looking to ship them. I want to do less programming, not more. So there's what it looks like when both her legs are kind of flapping in the wind. And she definitely looks a little floppy. That might not be good. This leg is really shaking. I wonder if we just kind of slowed it down. So let's try to slow it down. Let's take out one iteration of the leg shakies. And I'm just going to expand that, and I'm also going to make sure we got the Hermite smooth. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so there's one little kick in here that happens at the beginning that is just really fast, and I'm going to delete that. There we go. That's a much smoother looking thing. And then let's grab the other leg. I'm going to take out one iteration or one like cycle of kicking to just slow down the flapping of the leg. And let's see if that looks a little bit more. Yeah, I think that looks more chill. She looks a little bit less floppy, but it still looks like she's going fast. There's a little hitch in there somewhere. Right there. It's right when it restarts. I think it's because maybe the keyframe of the beginning is not the same. See if there's a hitch goes. Seems to have gone away. She's kind of doing this little kick where her leg is kind of still in this first part, and then she kicks up. Maybe I don't want that, so I'm going to delete that keyframe. There. Now it's all a bit smoother. Of course, this doesn't make much sense anymore. The flapping of Oh, my monitor is doing really bizarre flickering things. Huh. Oh dear. To look at. Not in the stream, I can see. It's literally just my monitor. What happens if I turn off my monitor? Do I even know how to turn off my monitor? I haven't turned off my monitor in like, I probably turned it on when I got it, and I've turned it off once. I literally don't even know where the switch off is. Embarrassing. Monitor's doing one. Okay, sorry about that. So I discovered that it's actually the software. it was Spine that was doing it. Oops, I bumped my camera in. So, phew, my monitor is fine. It is Spine that is doing this flickering business. I'm gonna go ahead and save it and exit out. And I'm gonna open it back up just because it's very distracting. Catch up with chat. Horse says, if you want to make your own engine, just make your next game in Godot. Can't tell if it's a shot toward Godot that it's so bad you need to basically make it yourself, or if you're just saying that since it's open source, you can kind of dig in and make it your own. But we actually are planning on trying Godot for our next game. Jenny and I, Jenny is our lead programmer. We are going to spend a couple weeks messing around with Godot and seeing if we think that we could make a big giant eShade Studios game in it. Because that would be really cool. It'd be cool to not use Unity anymore. because it's kind of scary that they just will change their terms of service on you. That doesn't sound fun. And we want our games to stick around forever. And I would just hate 15 years from now have some kind of rogue CEO decide that they want to retroactively change the terms of service. So that'd be cool if we could use Godot. Also extremely expensive, Unity. It's ridiculously expensive. I mean, our studio has like reasonably decent revenue for a small studio, but I mean, it costs us like $6,000 a year to license Unity for 3 people. I think that's how the math works out. It's disgusting. It's so expensive. Yeah, Godot seems fun, like the Wild West. It feels kind of like how Unity used to feel. I like that it's fresh. Unity stepped in it. Raul, hello. Radwall, hello, hello. Welcome, good to see you. Okay, so we're gonna go to the Broom. Hey, where's my Broom riding? Oh, we're in the wrong mode. There we go. Okay. I'm not sure about that little stall that her flapping coat does. Like it flaps, it flaps, it flaps, and then it stops flapping right there. And I just don't know if I want that. I'm going to put another key right there. Okay, so that was the wrong one to do. So it flaps out, and it goes in, and then it goes out, and then it needs to go back in, but it doesn't. It just kind of stalls. So I don't really know. Maybe I just change the timing so that this goes all the way to the end. It still kind of stalls right here. Why does it do that? Flaps in, but it never flaps out. I think we just maybe need to delete that one key and then move this over like that or something. Let's see. Oh, now it's even worse. It's just getting worse. What am I doing wrong? It's like this one right here. Flaps in, and then it goes back out. Maybe it just needs to go like way in right there. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, right. Because I'm only doing these changes on one phone like a freaking idiot. God. Sometimes I really wonder about myself. How do I think I wouldn't suck this bad? Okay. Let's curl these bones a little bit in. Well, let me actually view the bones here. But now, how does that look? Still stalls for a second. Is it happening at the beginning? I think it might be happening at the beginning. Okay, let's do a micro flap. First of all, let's grab all those bones and push that one forward. And then let's do a little micro flap at the beginning. Maybe that will solve this. Okay. There we go. Now it's flapping the whole time. Finally. Now, nothing at all is happening with her upper body. So something needs to be happening with her upper body. Don't know what it is, but it needs to be something. Maybe it'll just look weird if I try to mess with her upper body. Okay, let's just roll with it. Those are our 2 animations, at least for the 3/4 view. And I would like to get this, at least being able to see what this is looking like without going and doing the animation from a bunch of other angles, which is what we have to do to get our 8-way working. It's going to be quite a lot of work. So right now I'm going to, I guess, start by exporting. Okay, one second. Yes, start by exporting. Oh gosh, this thing is still popping up. Geez, how many times is it going to make me do it? Perforce is funny. Sometimes it wants you to type your password in like 5 times. Seems like it's done. Little tantrum now. Rahul says you still have an old version of Unity. Our version of Unity would be even older if we didn't have to update it for. We had to update to the 2019 LTS for the consoles, I think. But yeah, we generally don't update unless there is a very specific reason to. We don't just randomly update. You waste so much money doing that. Orator says, feet need a slight secondary. Yeah, I think they do. Like the heels. Secondary, that's the word I was looking for. Okay. So we need to, well, first of all, I should be probably reverting these interiors, and then what should I call this? Kicking new build. Changing say like updating loc sheet. Updating loc sheet. Changing modal icons. I think that's all I did. And then I'm going to put this in our default change list, and we want to check out spine projects. No, not projects, spine outputs. We want to go player official. I will check out everything in player official. I think and we'll call this one. Actually, I'll just leave that default change list for now, just so that when I check something out, it automatically goes into it. And I think I'll just export it real quick. Exporting takes quite some time, unfortunately, a few minutes. Zephyrino says the demo felt really solid. Really looking forward to the launch. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for playing, and appreciate your kind words. Yeah, it was, the launch went, as far as stability goes, I think it went okay. To us, the demo launch was kind of like early access launch. Like we wanted people to be able to finish it, that's for sure. And I think the majority of people didn't have any issues. At least according to our feedback forms, there were a lot of people that got through without a single bug, so that's good. But we did have a couple soft locks. Cortor says demo is the new smart EA. I agree. I think that I really like the new, I like how dominant demos are becoming. I like how it's kind of the new Steam meta. I think it's really good for players. If that becomes the new de facto way to excite people, that is the best thing that could happen to players, right? Because proof is in the pudding, right? You just give me something playable. And I think it's great it's great for us, because I love the idea of just like make a banger demo, like blow people away with something they can actually play, and Steam will reward you for it. I love that idea. I feel like that puts all the priorities in the right place. I really like the new demo approach. And then, yeah, you get this crazy feedback iteration that you wouldn't normally have gotten. Like before the demos became so popular, before it started being normal for every single game to have a demo, you would just, your 1.0 release would just, you would go from, I don't know, QA testers or closed beta people. You would go from that to literally 1.0, like the entire world playing it. And you miss out on this really important feedback cycle of like you kind of going public because you're putting out a public demo. 20,000 people downloaded the demo, 10,000 people played it, and we're getting more feedback right now than we can possibly even process. And certain things are incredibly obvious, like that we do not have enough tutorialization in how the clock in the game works. People are really confused about that. And we would have never, known that. We would have launched 1.0 and we would have been confusing the bejesus out of people. Of course, ideally, we'd be on that quickly. Like within a month, we'd be making those changes, but still, you don't get your 1.0 back. That hoopla of launching is the game's most, it's the biggest moment for the game in its cycle, in its launch, or in its entire lifetime, I should say. And you don't get it back. So it's really nice that we get to solve those kinds of issues now. And the demo launch is one thing, of course, and we treated it very seriously. Like we have been working on the demo build for months, and we have had a closed beta where 50 people have already played the demo, and they have had feedback forms, and they have reported bugs, and we've been, reaming through all these play testers and stuff. But it's nice that not only do we have the demo launch, but we also have Next Fest, which is another opportunity where a bunch of people will play the game, the demo anyway. Not the full game, but it's a few hours of the full game. So you get a really good sense for like what kinds of impressions you're going to get from public release. I have noticed that the feedback from the demo is extremely biased toward onboarding, which makes sense because it's a demo and it's the first few hours of the game. So we have to be careful about focusing too much on onboarding, because like we could easily just burn 2 months right now just making the absolute smoothest onboarding, and it might not matter. We might have wasted all our money. We might have been better off working on content for that 2 months because we might already have people, so to speak. Like it might not matter that the first 45 minutes of the game, someone got confused for 10 minutes at one point, and then they eventually figured it out. And then in the feedback form, they said, well, I got a little confused about this. But they kept playing and they were stoked as hell, and they went and finished the demo and gave us a 9 out of 10 score, and they would have just gone on to play the rest of the game, and that wouldn't have been an issue for the other 29 hours of the game. And we, be better off putting our time in other parts of the game. So I'm gabbing just because the animation is exporting. Once that's exported, I'll get back to work. Talking shop. The time here. Feels like we're full circle on demos, Luxrita says. Yeah, it's funny, right? I guess there was that extra credits video on YouTube that was very popular. It went like completely bananas. It was like millions of views, where the extra credits guys were saying basically why demos are kind of dead. And it was, it was a take that applied to maybe to AAA at that time in history, but I think that sort of stuck in the zeitgeist of video games for a long time. And now it's complete garbage. Like nothing in that video is true, I feel like, anymore looking back. That like the idea that, oh, well, if you people play your game, they'll get a taste of it and then they won't really want to buy it. That turns out to not be a thing at all. If you have a good demo, it's quite the opposite, actually. People actually invest time in your game, and by the time launch comes around, they're like, oh yeah, that demo I played that I put an hour into, it actually lowers the barrier to purchase by creating this little intermediate step where they don't have to pay any money. They can just download it and play it, and then they form this deeper bond with your game that they never would have formed if they just watched your trailer for 15 seconds before clicking off. I think it works really well. Demo should have always stayed. Yeah. Seems like it. What's wrong with the demo? Demo to launch also feels like something I'd be more interested in. Yeah, I think early access is it's tough to ask people to pay money for an unfinished thing, and I think it really spoils your launch. And it should spoil your launch. Like if you don't have enough money to finish your game, so you're going to start having people pay for it, you're spoiling your launch. You just are. You're not finishing the thing that you're selling. So you know, you pay a price for that. It makes a lot of sense with super systemic games like Minecraft. That makes early you know, that's an early access kind of game. But yeah, games where you have narrative, like something like Baldur's Gate 3, no. And I'm pretty sure that game was in early access, but I don't think that kind of game ought to be. It might be just that they needed such broad testing for their beta that they did early access. But oh, okay, I'm gabbing beyond the beyond our time limit here. Now the export is done. Luxrita says, thinking as far as publicity hype cycle, depends on the specific scenario. For sure, always. Demo better than trailer, absolutely. I feel like the demo would be more likely to get me to a day one purchase. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. All right, so let's get ourselves set up here. Loading all my scenes. And then I just want to see if I can block in something for writing. Let's see if I can even remember how to program. Whenever I code something, I'm always like having to prove to myself that I still know how to do this. Because Jenny does like 90% of the coding now. Baldur's Gate 3 was in early access for like 3 years. It's funny that I cited that exact one as an example. I mean, it obviously worked very well for them. And it might just be that that game has so much content that it can sustain. And I guess because the game can sustain multiple playthroughs and all that. But most RPGs do not branch as hard as Baldur's Gate 3. So for them, I certainly would never want to make a game that branched like Baldur's Gate 3. I don't even like it as a player. I kept looking up. I was like, I don't want to click this option and have this crazy thing happen 5 hours from now that I did not anticipate. So I kept looking up all the stuff that was going to happen in Baldur's Gate. But I know a lot of people really like it. Let's put our game in developer start settings. Demo gives better FOMO than EA. Exactly. Yeah, instead of giving people 10 hours of a broken game, you can give people 2 hours of something really polished. And it's easier on you, the developer, and yeah, it pumps people up more because they actually get to play the thing. The way it was meant to be. Just make sure that developer settings are working correctly. Fernet, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for playing the demo. And really glad you liked it. Oh, whoever decided to end it where it ends is very smart. Yeah, you know, that was our first guess at where we should end it. We were just like, this seems like long enough. People, and especially because we wanted people to get a taste for like the potions minigame. So we just ended it right after there. We thought it'd be too long if we let people go through day 4. But it turned out we did not even plan the fact that everybody is dying to get back to Martha when they're leaving potions class. They're just like, they have all these quests open and they can finish the Martha quest, and they, I assume, feel like that will let them go past the bush, and they're so excited for it. And then the demo ends and it just like gut wrenching to people. Like I've seen it happen to people in real time. Like I see their face when the demo ends, and they're just like, no, like they're so upset about it. And we knew, okay, I think that is actually the perfect spot to stop the demo. I'm really sorry about that to everyone. It's funny, it's such a narrative game. You would think that if you were going to do a cliffhanger, it should be like a narrative cliffhanger, but the mechanical cliffhanger of just this little quest, it turned out to be so much better, I think, because everyone is like, you know, they have that task in their mind, and you've got the breadcrumbs for the quest, and you're just dying to get to the next quest stage. So, well, sorry, not sorry. Yeah, that's right. Not genuinely sorry. I'm sorry it happened to you. I'm not sorry that I did it to you. All right, so developer start settings are working fine. And I want to just see what it looks like mostly. So I'm going to take a peek at the player controller and see if there's a place that we can swap out animations. So first of all, I'm going to go to, I guess, the player themselves. Here's the player scripts. Here's the spine skeleton controller. And we have swim animations. And we should have walk animations somewhere. Don't see any walk animations. It's possible we're using, I'm pretty sure there's some kind of default player animation set. I'm gonna go to where I'm just gonna search for run. Okay, so here's like the run. So the anim table, let's look at the anim table. It's the animation table. So anim speed table, and it's a private variable. And it's being defined right here. Okay, we're setting, wait, what? Anim speed table. Interesting. Maybe let's look at where run diag is defined. Okay, so we're actually defining all that stuff as a private variable. And then I'm just going to look for references to that where we're actually setting it. It might just have like a constructor or something. Let's see where we're defining the class. There's set speeds. Okay, so an anim speed table is something that is just one animation and then some definitions of for the speeds of that animation, right? Yeah, it just has one animation in it. So that is not exactly what I'm looking for. Here we go. Basic animation table. That's got to be it. So let's look at where this one is being written to. It's also private. Okay. So, oh, get idle anims. All right, there's something. There's fidget animations. So we're setting basic animations. Here's a function here. I just want to find out what those basic animations are. So like we're passing something in here. And oh, player data dot basic anims. That's got to be it. So here's the basic anims in the player data. Finally, we find a public field of an animation table, and it's on the player data. And what is player data? Is it literally like a scriptable object? I don't think so. just simply a serializable class. Oh, right. Okay. Player data creates an instance of player data right when the game starts, and then that gets saved. So we're passing in the basic anims from the player data, and we're creating a new basic animation table. And here is where finally I see that we're setting all the animations. So I think if we swap out that animation table, then I imagine we will get a different set of animations. So that is probably where we could maybe replace the animations with all the new animations for brooming around. So let's find out. So anim speed table. Here's our basic anims, and then we'll see. We can just change that. It is private, which is interesting. I'm trying to find an easy way to mess with this right now. Got all these idles. And the basic animation table is just, okay, it's a struct. So, and it's a struct in NPC motor. So I wonder if there's a way that we can just like create one. We're just going to have to create one. But the basic anims is private in this class. This is gonna take me a minute to figure out here. What happens if I just, oops, first of all, let me check out this class. Spine skeleton controller. What happens if I create a public basic animation table? And I'll call it Broom anims. I'm just gonna make it on the spine skeleton controller. I just want to see what it looks like in the inspector. If it shows it. It's a struct. I don't know what's gonna happen. Spine skeleton controller. Seems like Unity is frozen for the moment. Wait for it to, oh, it's compiling. And it's going to be right underneath fidget lock. Here we go. Here, Broom anims. Okay, yeah, so here we have everything. I think that should be enough. What would be really nice is to not have it defined on spine skeleton controller. What would be nice is if we had a scriptable object that we could reference, so that we don't have to like define this for every spine skeleton controller. That would be really stupid because every NPC uses the main rig. Every main rig that can fly a broom should be using the same animation table for the flying of the broom. So, but I guess just for simplicity, maybe we can just type it in here just to see if we can get this going, and then we'll look to swap it out. So we got broom idle and broom riding. Those are the animation. Here with walk, we're going to do 3/4 idle is broom idle. And with walk, we're going to do broom riding. walk diag is broom riding, run diag is broom riding, and run is broom riding. So all of the animations are broom riding. That's weird that we have different idles for the different sides, but we don't have different walks for the different sides. Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, no, these are fidgets. Okay, we don't have any fidgets. And what I'm going to do, I guess, is make some kind of function that changes that animation table. Okay, let's just maybe put it in start. And we'll just put basic anims equals broom anims. And we'll see what happens. I'm nearly certain that it won't work. That would be crazy if it just started working right away. And very helpful because at least we could see how it looks. Oh my God, guys. Started working. Okay. So she instantly changed to run, but she was idling on the broom. So that's cool. Don't know why she changed to run. I guess we can look at where this basic anims thing is changed. Is it being like set a lot? Wouldn't think so. Set basic anims. Okay, let's see. How often is set basic anims being called? Being called here in player, it's being called on load. Okay, that shouldn't be an issue. And it's being called on start from the player class. So that's a problem. I don't know which start is firing first. So we don't want that. We don't want to be putting this in start in that case. I want to make sure that the broom anims are set after that. So I think maybe what we can do is, this is so janky, but whatever. Let's just do what we got to do. I'm just going to do an invoke with like a little inline action here. Like 1 full second after the game starts. It's so janky, but it's just so that we can see if it's working. Actually, first I'm actually gonna comment it out and just get a baseline. I just want to make sure the game's working normally. Well, actually, we already did that. We ran around just fine, so I shouldn't have to do that. False alarm. Let me uncomment that out and go back into Unity. Let it compile. Got some null reference exceptions there. I don't feel confident that it compiled, so I'm going to let it compile again. I'll be right back, folks. boy. Been spending so much of my day dealing with the Steam forums. So annoying. Like, I knew that this would be a thing. Basically, if you have anything in your game that smells woke, as it were, then you're gonna get these anti-woke people that are just absolutely furious. And of course, our game is woke in the sense that gay people exist in the game, among other normal facts of reality that our game chooses not to omit. and so we have these angry people in the Steam boards, and we have one in particular who really loved the game, and he was so upset to learn that the game will have gay characters. I guess he read it from Google AI. I don't even know where Google AI got it. But he's just been he was going around in all the other threads posting his, I mean, frankly, sort of political tirades. Ironically, about how he hates that we're shoving our politics down his throat, when, to my mind, he's shoving his politics down my throat, and he's shoving his politics down everyone in the forum's throat. And I just been trying to figure out what to do about it, because like you can't fight them, because then it just antagonizes them, and you can't just delete all of their posts, because then they feel like it makes a martyr out of them, and then they go posting, the dev is deleting my post. And he already did that. I deleted some of his comments in other threads that were just completely unrelated to this issue, and he got really upset and started posting that the dev is deleting my completely valid feedback. Been annoying. And then usually you end up DMing them, because people tend to calm down when you talk to them one-on-one. But I hate that I have to waste my time on it. I could just let it fester, and I could just let the forums go hog wild. And some devs do that. I'm not strong enough to do it. I can't just like let it go. I wish I was. I wish I could just not give a shit, and I could just be like, whatever, fuck them, you know. But I'm like too sensitive for that. So. Eli says, I was playing the demo and I want to say two things. Bug report isn't automatic, and it's confusing. The bug was when you click on use controller without controller. Yes, that is a big one. We should have like a confirmation on that or something, or at least some way to get the game back if you don't have a controller connected and you put it in controller mode, then you're just kind of stuck, and that's really janky. So we've got to do something about that. Regarding number one with the bug reporter, we actually specifically made it not automatic, because if we make it really easy to report a bug, we're going to get thousands of garbage reports. Not only bad bug reports, but actually just people saying stupid stuff in the bug reporter, like, you know, just angry stuff or whatever. And it's just very annoying to have to wade through all that stuff. So when we created that one extra step of people having to email their bug and attach their bug and go find it in their persistent data folder, which, you know, can be kind of tricky, or it's not tricky, but it's just, you know, takes a couple minutes. That turns out that weeds out so many bad bug reports that it's very useful. Because right now we have somewhat a manageable amount of bug reports. We've got like 100 or 200 or something. Whereas for eShade, we made it automatic. You just click a button and off it goes. And we kind of were drowning in low quality bug reports, and it was hard to find the good one. That's why we did that. People got to go touch grass, man. Yeah, for sure. Eli says, so the game should allow me to press escape. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. I think that it should definitely be able to, you should be able to pop back into mouse and keyboard mode. This is interesting. Okay, so we had animation not found. I just want to see what I want to see what it looks like. The flying of the broom. I wonder if I could get like a dummy NPC to follow me. I wonder if that would be better than the garbage I'm trying to do here. Let me try removing this. And let's go over to our testing NPC. Yeah, you know, the extra frustrating part about the people that are upset about the existence of gay people in our game is, given that Glimmerwick has 200 characters in it, to not have a gay person would actually be statistically impossible, right? Like, or almost impossible for 200 people, not a single one to be gay. So if you were to omit gay people from a game with 200 different characters in it and you didn't have a single gay one, that would actually be more of a political statement than having one. Because if you were to use reality as your baseline, to make a game based on reality would be to have gay characters, because reality is full of gay people. So it's so frustrating that they keep hiding behind that. Oh, you're forcing your politics on me. Actually, you're forcing your politics on me. And furthermore, I actually asked this guy, how many gay people is permissible for you? When does it cross the line into wokeness? And he refused to answer the question. And I know why he refused, because the answer for him was 1. And I feel like there's some kind of intuition that happens once you answer that question. If I ask you how many gay people is a game allowed to have before you consider it to be woke, the answer to that question is 1. Well, then it's not really my ideology you hate. It's not that I made it's not that you hate that we put our ideology into the game. It's just that you hate gay people, right? It's that simple. And I feel like when you simplify it for them like that, they tend to not want to answer. Because I think even they realize that the answer to that question sort of reveals something about themselves. Just come out and say it. Just why do you have to mask it in the, oh, well, you're shoving your politics down my throat? Just come out and say it. Just be like, I don't like gay people, and that's why I don't like your game includes them. I feel like you'd be being more honest with yourself. I said that. It would be less annoying to me, although not really, because it's still annoying. Anyhow, sorry to beat you all over the head with that annoying topic. Rahara says, or a person that might be disabled. Right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, just, and then when these, when some people just like to want, you don't want your game to have wokeness in it. If the definition of no wokeness is like no gay people, no disabled people, potentially no certain minorities of people, just all the people that you don't like, that you don't want them in your game, then it's not really wokeness you don't like. It's kind of just the groups that you don't like. Like an extra layer of obfuscation for them. They're claiming to be anti-woke, but they're just anti-gay or anti-minority or anti-disabled or anti-whatever it is that bothers them. Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. I mean, there's people with glasses. There's people with all sorts of people, all sorts of different people in the demo. I could probably bore everyone forever on that topic because very annoying, but it's also easy to get upset about that topic. I'm looking for our test tools. Let's turn on the test tools. Yeah, the best thing to do in these situations is ignore them and get the work. Won't matter, but said than done. this NPC is the one that I'm going to try to make ride a broom. So I'm going to grab this Convo test guy data. I'm going to check the data out, and I'm going to override their run animation to broom. I think it's broom ride, was it? Broom riding, that's what it is. Broom riding. Okay, run and run diag are both broom riding. I'll change walk to broom riding as well. I'll change walk diag to broom riding. And then the idle will change to broom idle. Get that. Broom idle, broom idle, broom idle. Okay, so there we go. So now in theory, this NPC should be riding a broom. I don't know. Let's see. Eli says the other one was Azat's first dialogue. Yeah, we have a couple NPCs who are missing lines, and we wanted to get all those, but unfortunately, to fix it, we need to do a pickup because we don't have the line from the voice actor, and we can do a pickup for one line, but we usually have a session minimum, so then we're paying a bunch of money for 1 or 2 lines. So we know we'll have pickups we need to do in the future for the rest of the game, so we're just waiting to do them later in one batch. But in the meanwhile, we're going to have a lot of people reporting that, which is unfortunate. Not because we don't like people reporting stuff. We love people reporting stuff, but we don't want people to waste their time on it. She is clearly not riding a broom. She is having a null reference, or she's not finding the animation for broom idle. And I wonder why, because she is standing at 3/4, so let's see. I just want to see. It's also not following me, which is weird. Follow me 1. I guess because it's not. Because she's not finding her animation, maybe she's not doing anything else. Bradwall says, thing I've learned is there are chronically online people who spend all their time in echo chambers. Unfortunately, I am also chronically online. Much as I try not to be. I don't have the luxury of being in an echo chamber, though, because I hear all of the things that our players say. So, broom idle. Why can't it find broom idle? Because, wait, do we call it broom idle? It's called broom idle. We exported the animation. Is it just because you couldn't find it for the different sides? Because she's standing at 3/4. What I'll do is, I guess I'll undo. This is annoying, but I'll undo all of this, and I'll just make sure that she can actually follow me. So let's just make sure that's actually working. Okay. Oh, she's not following me. Why? Why aren't you following me? Why? Why wouldn't she be following me? Oh, she is following me. I just didn't walk far enough. Okay. All right, well then Now I'll paste in Broom. And I don't even know if this will work. Broom ride. Oh, it's broom riding. Okay, broom riding. Let's put that in all of the runs. Okay. So I imagine it just sets at the start and it doesn't keep looking up this animation table. So I'll have to set that. Let's just do the riding one. Let's see if we can get that one working. I doubt we can. But let's see. And maybe I'm wasting my time. Maybe I should just do the other ones, at least get them in place. That would be something. I could at least get a placeholder for them. That would be clever. Anyway, I'm going to type follow me. Oh, it works. It looked kind of good. It looks okay, guys. Doesn't look that bad. There definitely has to be some kind of something happening with the upper body is so stiff. But I'm thinking this is showing promise. Showing a bit of promise. I'll be right back. Oh. Hey Nanani, welcome back. Yeah, hopefully I can start streaming every day here. Hopefully. It's good. Good way to keep the distractions off. Lawrence. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Okay, so I wanted to make placeholder animations for the broom. For the other angles. Broom idle and broom riding. And it doesn't really matter what they are. It would be nice if they had the same amount of frames, I guess. Broom idle and broom riding. Let me get Mary. Mary is who we had. We'll do uni. That's the outfit we're going to have. Actually, I think it's first we put Mary. Mary in, and then uni in. Okay, so now we have Mary. And we can start with something kind of simple. Duplicate this animation. Why not? And then we'll call this Broom idle. And I guess it would be good to get a broom in there. It showed a little bit of promise, so actually I think that was enough to give me confidence that we're going in a good direction here. Broom idle. So it's called Broom idle, and this one is how many frames? It's 60 frames exactly, and broom riding is some arbitrary amount of frames. So we're gonna have, it's like 39 frames. So let's do broom idle first. It's 60 frames exactly, nice even number. Let's go into the front view and let's get that broom in. Oh, we've got the two halves of the broom, and I don't think we have the two halves of the broom in the front view, I guess. Front, E, shared, and yeah, we just have the one solid broom, so that's not going to work. We want the two halves. So I think what we can do, let's check out this file. So let's go into Perforce, go into find projects. Let's get anim sprites. Oh, come on. Should be anim. No, it's not. There we go. And let's get those files checked out. Got back, and we have the broom. Front, and then the broom. And then we want to overwrite those files with the broom from the 3/4. So I'll go ahead and do that in the file explorer. Oops. I just want it, I don't want it to remove it. I want it to leave it up. There we go. 3/4. Hey, Nani says, hopefully you will also put the notifs in Discord. What's the notifs? Oh, notification. Oh. Usually I don't always put a stream notification. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Where do I put it? Oh yeah, right. I have a little channel for it. Ah. Ah. Okay. Is it too late to put one now? Probably. I guess I could. Okay, let's go to Discord. No, I don't want to. Oh, okay. I'll do it on Discord. I just have to BRB real quick. Okay, I'm back. I just had to post a notification. I don't like being up in Discord when I'm streaming. Okay. And then my OBS, get all the witches in here. Okay, so we've got the two brooms, and then we're gonna go into this address bar, and I'm just gonna put it, we're just gonna go to the front. And I just want to paste in those brooms. Replace. Okay, and then also going to put one in the back. Replace. Okay, so we should have the broom back in the broom in both places now. So should be able to get that thing in here. So let's go into the setup mode. And we should be able to go into the hand holding. I guess the draw order is messed up on her hands. Why don't we, I think we can fix that. Although I might cause a regression bug. But let's get her hands. I just type in hands. Hand back and hand front. Here it is. Hand back. I'll do the holding item. We'll move that as well. And that looks like it should go below the cloak. There we go. Yeah, that is clearly where it's supposed to be in the draw order. And in the item holding item, we have one on each hand, right? Holding item back. Yeah, we'll do it on this hand. In the holding item, we have, we want to put in our broom. And I don't even think we need a broom back. I mean, where would we even see the broom? The broom should be directly behind her, so I don't think we'll be seeing a broom. So we just need the broom front. So let's go P. Shared. I hear my baby boy going to bed. I need to go say goodnight. Be right back. All right, let's see what we got here. Cat to sit on the broom. That would be very Kiki's delivery service. I actually wondered if brooms are too generic. We couldn't really decide. Jacqueline was sort of torn. We wanted maybe to do something less generic, but I knew that broom would be the easiest. And Phoenix, our composer, was the tiebreaker. Why I asked him, are brooms too generic? Is it like silly? And he was like, what? No, of course not. Of course, everyone wants to ride a broom. So I'm a little out of touch on the sort of Witch Academy fantasy, I think. So sometimes I don't think I have my finger on the pulse of what people will like for that. But hopefully people want to ride a broom and it doesn't feel too generic. And I hope we have enough other things going on in the game that are not, that are special and unusual to the point where it doesn't just feel like generic. That's the last thing. The generic Witch Academy game. Woof. I don't want to be a generic anything. So it's not going to be in uni. It's in P. It's in shared. There we go. Shared. And here's the broom. So let's bring that broom into our holding item slot. Go. Please refer to bed knobs and broomsticks. What is bed knobs and? Oh, that's funny that you had just watched Kiki Deliveries. I don't even know what the front is, or what the tip is. I think it's here. Not sure. Okay, there we go. We'll go. That looks more or less like she's grabbing onto it. And then we'll turn it off and let's see what kind of pose that we can put her in. So we've already got our animation set up here. I'm going to grab all the bones, and it was a 60 frame animation. I'm going to delete all the keys, and we're just going to focus on the first key here, and we're going to key that holding item attachment to have the broom. It looks like the scale is 0, so we're just going to that scale 1. And let's see, start with her arm, get her arm in. No, draw order is a problem. And this one we actually have a little bit more control, but look, it doesn't even affect the shoulders. So I don't know. I don't even know if we want to pull that down. Look, it like makes this weird little lump there. This is such a, it is such a ghetto rig. Let's get the sleeve. I'm pretty sure I can't move the sleeve up in the draw order. Let's type sleeve. Sleeve. There's sleeve back and sleeve front. There, I see. Okay, sleeve back and sleeve front. What happens if I move it higher? So here it's above the cloak and everything, but I don't know if that's okay. Let's move it all the way to the top. At least for this outfit, it seems okay, but I don't know what it's going to do to other outfits. I imagine it's going to mess stuff up. Like if I unpin uni and start looking at some of the other outfits, like the other player outfits, that one is okay. That one turns out to be okay. It looks like they're surprisingly, I mean, that one is technically broken, right? Because that shouldn't be on top. That should be, but it doesn't look that bad. One of these is going to look awful. This one looks pretty bad. We might not be able to get away with putting that high in the draw order, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll just roll with it for now and see what we can do. Let's put it back to the uni, because I just think that that's probably not the most common outfit, but I know, it's an outfit that everyone will have. So, and let's see if we can get her hands a bit higher in the draw order now. So let's, and grab those hands, and I'm just going to start moving them up. I'll move them all the way to the top. Hand front and hand back. And then I'll take the stick, the broom, which should have its own slot. Oh, maybe it's holding item. Yeah, item. Okay. There's holding item. And that one should be the top. So. Okay. Do here. So it's hard to get the broom to where it needs to go, because this is the angle it should be, right? Straight down, but it needs to be between her legs. And right now she hasn't even passed her crotch yet. So I don't know how to get this arm lower. I guess we could scale her arm. We could scale her forearm. That's going to do really funny things to the broom, unfortunately. But I don't really know of another way. Maybe scale her forearm and then try to unscale. Oh my God, it's like her arm just need to get way bigger without the shoulder roll. We could roll it down. That's going to help a lot, but look at what weird stuff it does to her shoulders. I just don't think we can get away with that. It looks so strange. So I think we're going to have to just scale the crap out of her arms. Fortunate. Horrible looking. Look how big and gangly her arms look now. It looks like an orangutan. And that broom needs to be like, that broom should be like down here, I feel like. I don't know. Let me catch up with chat. Favorite Studio Ghibli movie? Ooh. Oh no. Yeah, Diablo, I had the same issue with the background. I think I might be so late on that comment that I don't. Yeah, I think it's probably Howl's Moving Castle. My grandma loved to say crotch. It is an interesting word to love to say. Yeah, what are we going to do about this? Gosh, it's so hard. I think I can get away with moving her hand. Okay, that's one thing that I'm pretty sure. Like, I think I could just move this hand off of its normal bone spot. At least a little bit. Really breaking her wrist. So maybe I can, here's another thing I can do. I could rotate her hand, and then I could rotate the holding item. Now I'm thinking, geez. There we go. So here we got it a little bit lower. Although, can I really move her hand? Because if she's wearing a short sleeve, oh, I bet I can't. No, I bet I can't move her hand. Okay, so let's undo Mary, undo Uni, and let's go with player and pin that. And then let's wear something that reveals the forearm. Okay, look at that. So weird. Okay, we can maybe move that a little bit more off the mark. And then something like that. Seems like we could get away with maybe moving it a little bit more even. We definitely need to make sure that the draw order, it's like something, this belt is in front. I don't know how. There's literally nothing in front. the absolute top of the draw order. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get how this belt could be in front. What slot is it in? Oh, it's because the arms. Okay, we need the actual arms. Let's get the arms, and there's arm back and arm front. Then there's drape sleeve back. Oh my gosh, it's so complicated. We just have to look at every single outfit. This is so much more complicated than I thought it would be. But let's move it to the top. There we go. I don't know why. I don't know why his arm is literally out of place. I guess because it's supposed to be more like that. The only thing, there's no way we're going to get it to the location. I think that outfit's just going to have to be a little messed up. I just don't know how we would get the arm to where it needs to be. Okay, let's try scaling. Arm. Wow, it's so weird looking. Get that forearm to where it needs to be. And then I'll try to scale down the forearm a little at least direction, so at least the avatar doesn't have to have the forearm of a bear. The big read isn't that bad, I guess, but with this particular outfit, it really breaks down. This one looks good, works. I would say that one pretty much looks okay. I'll hide the bones. That one looks okay. All right, well, we're just gonna have to roll with it and maybe fix. We might be able to fix it by like keyframing the vertices on the outfit. We just really is, if it's just one outfit we need to fix, I think we can handle it. Let's go back to uni. Let me catch up with chat. What if both arms clasp the broom at a slightly higher point? Pretty much as high as it goes, I think. It has to do with the fact that you have the wrist tilted the way you do. That's what's making it look weird. I guess the comment could be old. The first Diablo game rendered the character first, floor tile, and then wall, which caused similar issue when the character entered. Oh. I just stood in an approximation of that stance with a broom right by my side. Would she be grasping the broom underhanded like that or overhand? For that position, I'm certain it would be underhanded. Gotta be, right? That's right. Go get a broom and hold it. Well, I can imagine holding a broom right here, and I'm definitely underhanded. But yeah, the big issue is that I can do this. And that absolutely changes everything. The amount of play you have with your shoulder is insane. I mean, I have like a full, 8 inches of distance that I can cover just by rolling my shoulders down, and our rig doesn't do that. So their range of what they can reach is so much more limited. We keep running into that problem over and over again. Things that a normal human should be able to reach, our rig can't, because we can't move the shoulder, because we didn't rig it like that. We should have rigged it like that. It would not have been that hard. But, 20 animations and and like 30 player outfits later, it's just, we can't go back at this point. And we didn't know a lot. Like, I am not an animator. I am not a rigger. Jacqueline is not an animator. Jacqueline is not a rigger. Neither of us even knew this software when we started production. We picked the software because we kind of read that it would be the most polished 2D animation software. We tried it out, and it seemed really slick, and it just, we were really impressed with the software. And so that's the road we went down, but we were not very good riggers. I wish we had hired Misaki, the person who does all the animation for our secondary rigs is like 1,000 times better than us at animation and at rigging and at skeletal 2D animation and at spine. If we had her do everything from the start, that would have been so much better. But we just didn't know what kind of support we were going to need. And we needed to be able to iterate so quickly on the rig and the animations. We didn't even know what animations we were going to need, because we didn't know even how many angles we were going to want for our run. So there's so much back and forth on that. It just would have been really annoying to be working with a contractor for that. So tough. I really like working with full-time people a lot more than working with contractors. But it's very scary to hire a full-time person. So now we have to try to figure out how to make the legs look like they're dangling. Oops. So let's... Oh, that was easy. I think that actually will do the trick. I mean, that pretty much works. Okay. That was easy. I'm kind of surprised. Usually it doesn't go that smoothly, but yeah. I mean, it looks like they're on a broom. I don't know how long we should leave that stick. Seems like it's a little bit long. So let's go holding item. Grab the holding item bone and maybe just scale it down a little bit. It seems like it should be a little foreshortened. But I don't want it to disappear, so I want to keep it like a little bit thick. Gosh, it really seems like we could get away with moving this thing further down. Okay. I'm not going to lie, the pose looks a little bit weird right now, but I'm hoping in the context of the game, it won't look like what I imagine many people are feeling like it looks like at this point. So let's grab this keyframe, and it was exactly, the idle was 60 frames. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I corrected it. In use, I think the broom would be in both hands and the handle would be angled the other way, if that makes sense. The broom would be in both hands and the handle would be angled the other way. I don't think I understand. Okay, so we've got to do the idle, which was pretty easy. Let's just grab that. It was the root. So the root has a positional keyframe, and I'll just translate. Oh, whoops. Actually, it didn't. So let's go. She'll just floating. And then we did all this secondary motion and stuff. So as she floats up, we will move her legs down a little bit. And then as she goes down, the legs up a little bit. Oops. That. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. We'll grab both of these and just that out. Okay. It's the end here is a little too quick, so we're gonna grab that keyframe and just move it in a little bit extreme. We might want to just reduce the amount of all of it. So there, when we're going up, really in particular, I think this one looks a little bit extreme. Let's move those down. Actually, it might even be the case that we don't need this keyframe. That we don't need her legs to bunch up. That seems to be more subtle, and I think probably less weird. And now that we've done that, I think we can move this one out a little bit more. Make everything a little slower. I think that's good. Okay, now secondary animation on the on her cloak. So let's just key the rotation here. Oh, I guess we're going to want to key the rotation to start, and we're going to want to key the rotation to end. Then right, or flowing upward, and then right as she's, I guess right here is where we want sort of bend the. Again, it doesn't make sense that you can see the back of her cloak because it just means that the broom would have to be intersecting. So I might take that cloak under and get it off. I guess that technically looks more correct, but it also really exaggerates silhouette. Whatever this looks like, which is not good. We'll see what we can do about that. Okay. Let me grab the cloak and smooth out all these keyframes. I think that's pretty good. She does go up a little bit fast. So let me grab, oops, grab all this stuff. Yeah, it seems like she ascends and she hits this point. I just want to push that out a little bit. No, the timing of that is wrong now. That looks better. Okay. I want to make sure all those keyframes are on that Hermite curve. That looks pretty good. You're holding the handle more at your chest. Slanting down. Oh, I see what you're saying. That could be. But I think in that case, the broom handle would have to be so foreshortened that it would just look like a dot, essentially. And I think it might read poorly. Okay, I'm glad you feel like the floating is working, though. So now let's save that and let's work on the going the broom riding. So the broom riding animation, I believe, was 39 frames long, if I'm not mistaken, but let's go take a look. Broom riding, yeah, 39 frames. So I want it to be exactly the same length. So let's go 39 frames right here. 39 frames. Okay. And she leaned forward way down and her feet went back. So that is not going to be very easy to do, because when we pull her feet back, of course, with the IK, her legs get wider, and that's not really what I want. So I think I can scale down. There we go. Scale down basically foreshorten the thighs. And hopefully that gives us the illusion that she's going fast. So then I'll pitch down her feet. And I would love to lean her forward, but I can't. I can't lean her forward. There's absolutely no way to do that. I could maybe foreshorten. I could like scale her. And let me turn on scale compensation for bones here. But look at that. See, that's just not going to work. There's no way that's going to work. Maybe I could scale her down like this. And then take her head and try to descale her head. And then take her arms and try to descale her arms back like that. And maybe I could grab the holding item. The holding item and foreshorten it as if it was pitched up. Oops, okay. So, and then we would need to take all of that stuff, copy and paste. So, and we have no idea what the transition is going to look like for that. I think I've overscaled her head. Possible to know, but now the best we can do is make her coat just going absolutely bananas here. So let's just make that flap out. Flap this one out. Grab all three. And copy that. And then we'll have to do the ones where her flapping inward like this. Flapping inward. Grab that. Okay, how does that look? Pretty good. I forgot that her head needs that at the beginning and the end. There we go. Might work. Might work. Save that. Okay. I thought she had some bones for her hair, but it seems like she only has that in 3/4, which is just silly. Okay, let's see. How long have I been streaming here? Hours and 20. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there. We made good progress. I wish we could maybe we could try to see it. Maybe I'll export and see if we can see it right now, just in the. It's gonna throw all kinds of errors, but maybe if we just keep on going down and right and left, that the NPC doesn't go up then maybe we could see how it looks. That would be good. One moment. Yeah. Try to export and see if we can get a glimpse. Oh, I would love if it just looked good. Because I don't know how much other stuff I can do here, but we'll see. Very good though, very good. Waiting for this thing to export so we can take a look. I thought that I could make the Broom in like 4 days. I think that was my estimation. I need Wii Shop music. Yeah, normally I just blab endlessly during the animation export process. Be going pretty fast right. Can't stop yawning. What's this? Oh, this is the Wii Shop music. Hours of it. Now I feel like I'm on hold. If anyone has any Glimmerwick questions, I can do a 1 minute Q&A. Except for don't ask about the release date. As much as we enjoy that people are looking forward to the release, that one I can't answer. Would you consider more DLC if the game really pops off? I'm trying to figure how hard would it have to pop off for us to do DLC? And the more that it pops off, does that push us to do even like more what we want to do, which might not be just like, oh, we have $15 million now. We do not need to go chase any money anymore. We can go do exactly what we want to do. And I'm trying to think if the game works with DLC, because it's not like Stardew. You can't just play forever and ever. I mean, you can, but the game ends. It ends like, you know, it has an ending. It's not a game that's designed to be played forever. So I guess DLC would be if you want to play it again. And if we add content, it's like, for people who have finished the game, how do we make it a thing where we add how would we add content for those people? I don't know. They'd have to load a save at some point. I don't exactly know how we'd do it. If we wanted to spend more time working on the game, there's so many things we would do, but it's not really DLC. It would just be making the game better. There's so many things we know would make the game better. And they happen like throughout the entire game. It's not just an encapsulated chunk that we could make into DLC. I don't know though. I won't say though that we would never consider it. As opposed to Eastshade, which like when we shipped Eastshade, there is no way. Like I was like 0% chance of DLC. Absolutely no interest in DLC. I don't feel that strongly about Glimmerwick. I don't hate Glimmerwick as much as I think. Not that I hated Eastshade, but I'm not as sick of it as I was with Eastshade, I think. Probably because I made so much less of it comparatively. Like Eastshade, I made such a huge percentage of the game I made myself. And with Jacqueline and Jenny, you know, having worked for full time most of the development, you know, I definitely wouldn't say I've made more than half of Glimmerwick. So maybe that helps. Okay, so the export is done. Pop over into Unity. So yeah, and I can't tell if it pops off really a lot, if that makes us less likely to make DLC. But I know that a game that doesn't have DLC is such a small pickup rate. It's such a, you know, your game has to make so much money for DLC to make sense, except for like the developer support package type DLC, like basically very low effort DLC that can sort of try to capitalize on some of the more like diehard fans that you actually launch with. I would love to have something like that, something small that is like, you know, the game costs an extra $10 maybe, if even that. It comes with a couple extra goodies that are small, that are definitely not like good value for money for the player, but and we call it developer support package because it's just like you are just absolutely bananas for the game and you just want to give the developer, you know, more money basically. And you want these little goodies that say that you did, kind of like a collector's edition, I guess, but in a virtual. That might be something we would want to do, because we have a pricing problem where I think that the quality of it, I think, can compete with the higher price rungs, like let's say 35. But given the genre and the imply or the perceived production value of the game, because it smells like a 2D game, or maybe it is a 2D game, depending on how you want to qualify 2D, then people feel like they would never pay that much for it. So we're not going to price it at 35. It's not going to be that much. Ain't no way. I'm thinking 25 right now, honestly. It's safe. Go with what we charge for each. I would buy that. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Jade is a AA game from a micro team. Took an unholy amount of work. That it did. That it did. Arthur, hello, welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you for the kind words. You're too kind. All right. Thank you for the support. Much. Just gonna say $30 plus is danger zone. Yeah. I agree. We're not gonna do 30. So yeah, basically, yep, we're gonna do 25. 20 I think is too cheap. I mean, the game is 30 hours. And I think 25 is the safest one. I don't think we'd have, I mean, there might be a couple of people saying it's expensive, but hopefully people can get on board with 25. The 30-hour game. That's pretty good. Fear Wilder, I missed your follow if you're still around. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. And somehow, okay, Twitch does not notify me of hype trains anymore, but I appreciate the hype train that happened 2 hours ago. And Arthur Costa, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that. Okay, let's see if we can get Convo Test Guy. Give us the Broom title. Actually, I'll leave the back idle. It's just idle. Do broom idle. Idle. Okay. Please work. I'd be so excited. I would be so excited if it worked. Well, I'd be so excited if it worked and didn't look like complete ass. Those are my standards right now. Okay, she's idling on the broom. There's some monkey business going on with Z fighting. It doesn't look terrible. Let's do follow me. Okay. Let's go. Oh, the front view got completely messed up. I don't know why the front view got messed up. Let's see if there were actual export errors. We exported it. Sometimes if I just recompile, it'll fix that. But let's see if the front view had errors. I would say it's good. I mean, it's a really good first pass. Like, I'm feeling good about that. Got some null reference exceptions. It might just be because it's, I'm not sure. Let's see if the animations came through in the front view. A front official. Front official atlas. Come on. We need to find the spine data. Player official. Here we go. Player front. Okay, so it doesn't have any errors. It doesn't look like. And we have both assets. I don't see any errors. I think we might just need to recompile. Sometimes that fixes it. Let me check out Game Manager. Being able to say a 30+ hour game will help with whatever the asking price is. Yeah, hopefully. You're thinking we should highlight that the game has an end so that people don't come in assuming that it's a forever game. I think you're right. I think the broom looks a little wispy. Thanks, Radwall. Looks a little wispy. It looks a little insubstantial. I think you're right. It needs to be a little beefier, especially because we're so zoomed out. I think it needs to be, the handle needs to be a little thicker in the whisks at the end need to be, it looks so thin and tiny. It looks like a emaciated, thin little broom. Okay. You are correct, Oratora. Oops, did it actually go? No. There we go. Okay. That way. Oh, yeah, it works. Dude. Dude, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Got some stuff to sort out on the back. Because the back view has like a run diag as well. So the broom will have to go diagonal. And we need 2 side views. So the broom can be completely side on and a little bit more diagonal. And that will really make it look a lot better. Because right now when she brooms diagonal, her broom is completely sideways, but it'll be trivial to just angle it a little bit. And nothing else, just the broom angling a little bit will give the impression that it's a full 8-way. We've done it before a bunch of times. It's actually crazy. Like if you look at her 3/4 run, that's her 3/4 run, and that's her side run, and they're so similar, but it totally looks like she's turning a little, right? Just because her legs foreshorten a little bit different, and her footfalls land in a slightly different spot. And I am certain it's going to work for the broom well. But this is a really good first pass. just to like export it and get it in and it's looking like that, that gives me confidence that with a bit more polish, it's going to be great. Especially a sound pass, maybe some little particles, some little wind particles or something, spruce it up. We're golden. It's gonna be golden. We can also, there's two levels as well. There's a run and a walk. And if you're using a controller, you push a little bit. And maybe we can just make like a broom walk animation that moves a little slower and her stuff doesn't flap so aggressively. And it's gonna lerp between them. It's gonna work. Really happy with that. We're cooking. We're cooking. Also make the broom in the back flap a little bit more aggressively because it literally is so hard to see. It's so small on screen. All right, sweet. I'm pro lean forward. Yeah, I could see that. I could see leaning forward a little bit more. We can't do it in the front view, but maybe in the side view. Pull it off. It looks like the broom is on a diet. Funny. Cut out front and back. Are so hard to get right. Oh, I know, right? Yeah, I know. It's so hard to foreshorten everything correctly. Like, it's really difficult. Like the 3/4 top down. All right, folks. I want to thank everyone so much for hanging out with me while we make this room. Very pleased with that. And also thanks everyone for playing the demo, the folks who came in and said that they played the demo and said kind words. Really appreciate that. It really makes my day to hear that. So thank you for taking the time to tell me. And hopefully I'll catch some of y'all on the next dev stream. But for now,